Regular season hockey is back. There is so much that I want to talk about today. So let's just get right into today's episode.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And a happy Tuesday, October 8th, and welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things about our St. Louis Blues here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. On today's episode of Locked On Blues, it's finally the first game of the regular season. Does this game set the tone, and what are the expectations today? I am buzzing. I am so excited. I don't think you understand. I've been up for hours, and I literally cannot fathom the fact that we play hockey today. I don't live in St. Louis, as you know, and I've been wearing my Blues gear all over, so that just goes to show you that I'm truly that excited to where I can't wait. Okay, so today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet, and you'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. It is the first game of the season, and I told you it feels like it's Christmas. It's awesome. It's the best. Cannot wait. However, there is a couple things that I want to talk about. Obviously, I want to talk about things, but it is about 12 o'clock right now, okay? Puck drop isn't for another 3 hours, so we have some time. And heading into the game, Zachary Bolduc did not make the opening day roster. Now, newsflash, he now got caught up, and he now will be playing today. But I want to talk about kind of my thoughts about some of the things that went down of why this happened. So I'm going to still kind of recap that in a sense, just because I was going to film yesterday. I was sick. I called my boss, and I'm like, there's no way I can get in front of a camera or even a microphone and record for a full, 25 minutes without physically getting sick. And I did try, and it just sounded awful. So I just wanted to take the day off and just kind of get back together. So that's that. But let's go talk about what happened with Zachary Bolduc. So as of today, not even an hour ago, Zachary Bolduc was recalled from the Springfield Thunderbirds, Doug Armstrong said, and he will be playing today, obviously, against the Seattle Kraken. 21 years old, and he did play 25 regular season games last year. So let's talk about how this kind of happened. So I personally thought that Zachary Bolduc had a really good camp. I thought in the preseason games he looked good. I did episodes on this, and we talked about it, and I really had a lot of excitement, and not even just excitement. I was just ready to see Zachary Bolduc not only make the opening day roster, but potentially strive to get that top 6 spot. So when the opening roster came out yesterday, I was very confused about a couple things. One was Zachary Bolduc was sent to Springfield. So was Tyler Tucker. So Bolduc was sent down due to cap space because Krug needs to be on the LTIR, and then the Blues can call up Bolduc. So that's kind of where I was kind of rationalizing it. But then I was also surprised that Walker, P.O. Joseph, Cappy, they all are starting over him. So there was rumors. I don't know who started these rumors, but there was rumors I have written down in my notes. Rumors about Bolduc being in Seattle practicing with the team. So there's no doubt that Zach Bolduc traveled now. We can 100% confirm that he was with the team. However, I'm happy. I'm really happy he's playing today. I just still kind of don't get why, out of all the players, he was the one that they sent down and then they recalled him. I mean, to each their own. I mean, I just thought Bolduc had a lot better of a camp than Walker. He had a lot better of a camp than Kapanen. And I hate to sound this way because it makes me sound annoyed. I guess I could be that. I just am surprised that you send a guy down who had probably one of the best camps amongst all the players on the Blues. That was a rookie, at least. He stood out a lot during that rookie development camp. He stood out a lot during rookie showcase. So in my head, it just doesn't make sense how you have a player continuously prove that they deserve to be there, and yet you send them down. I know he's recalled now, and that's why today's tone of the episode is a lot different because I was actually annoyed. Okay. Um, I get the cap space situation. I do. I completely understand that, and I'm not naive to it. However, at the same time, I'm allowed to still feel a little bit annoyed for Zachary Bolduc. So let's go talk about some other things when it comes to this roster for opening day. You know what's weird to St. Louis? That it's opening day because it's during the middle of the day. Did anybody take off work today? I mean, I get off work kind of early, so I'm able to watch. However, I'm like, for those that don't have like the type of jobs that I have, did you take off today? Like, these are the questions I want to know here in Lockdown Blues. Did you take off of work today to watch the game? So let me know that down below. So obviously, Oscar Sundquist is still out. I believe Bannister kind of said he'll be back soon enough, but not going to rush him. So Brandon Saad, he is out of the road trip, obviously, because his wife is about to birth their kid. So he's obviously not going to travel with the team. Even Drew Bannister was like, yeah, he's not going to travel because his child's about to be born. And then somebody said to Banny, they were like, oh, so if the kid is born like before the game, do you think he's going to come out? They asked him this yesterday, and he was like, probably not. So I don't think we're going to expect to see him on this road trip at all. Like, he's having a kid. However, because he doesn't count towards the Blues' 23-man roster, has no effect on the fact that his 4.5 million cap hit counts to the overall cap hit. So that counts. He doesn't count, but his cap hit counts. The Blues have 2 extra defensemen this year with Scott Perunovich and P.O. Joseph. They are playing 12 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 2 goalies. So that's basically that. So I'm assuming once Saad comes back, it's going to look a little bit different than how it does now. And again, it's something that's kind of unpredictable. I mean, again, same thing with Oscar Sundquist. Once he comes back, they'll have to do some shifting around. But I'm going to tell you the opening day roster, then we'll discuss some things that Drew Bannister had to say about it. So here is your 2024-2025 Blues opening day roster. So we have, in no particular order, actually, we do have an order, but I'm just going to, well, they do it by number, but okay. So we have Texier, we have Captain Braden Shen. Do you come to my broadcasting? This is what I did when I was in college when I used to do hockey. Foxa, Torpochenko, Thomas. Wait. Whoa. I said Robert Thomas without saying Robert Thomas season. Oh no. We have Ruzi Jordan Cairo, Nathan Walker, the Australian, Kasperi Kapanen, Jakey Neighbors, Matthew Joseph, Dylan Holloway, and Bushi. Defense, Big Fish Nicoletti, Philip Roberg, Ryan Suter, Central Division legend Ryan Suter, may I add, Scott Perunovich. So congratulations to Perunovich. Matthew Kessel, Colton Pareko, Justin Folk, and P.O. Joseph. So both of the Joseph brothers did make it. Then in net, we have Joel Hofer and the starting goalie, Jordan Binnington. So that is your roster. So we also have injured / non-roster. So we have Brandon Saad. His child's about to be born. Adam Juracek. So you probably are, whoa, Adam Juracek. So yes, he is still injured with that knee injury. He is going to be with the team rehabbing until he gets better. So he's going to end up going back to his juniors. But that's basically that. Torrey Krug, we all know it sucks. Oscar Sundquist, and then Simon Robertson. So that is the roster for the opening day. Listen, I'm not one to throw shade. I just did not think that Kapanen really deserved a roster spot after what I saw when there was other players that played better than he did. Oh, don't come at me. I'm just saying it how it is. However, Drew Bannister was asked some questions about the roster, and I want you to take a listen.
Yeah, like what gives them the ability to be top 6 guys? Well, I think we want to give them an opportunity and see where they fit in. And right now, I think both players have played well through training camp, and we want to continue to give them that opportunity to play in the top six and hopefully make it work. And obviously with Brendan Saad coming back after this road trip, that'll change things up too. But right now, we'll just focus on our game tomorrow and how our lines were as of our last game together.
So basically, what Drew Bannister was saying was about the lines, and I just want to give credit to Puckpedia with the other hockey team that I do things for. I work with them on that stuff, and they are completely amazing. So basically, what he was insinuating was Holloway is on the first line, and then Texier is on the second line. So that's basically what he was saying when he was giving the younger kids a chance. Um, I'm gonna continue with the line talk. I am. I have a lot to say on this episode of Locked On Blues today, just due to me being sick yesterday and not having any voice. But I do want to make sure that I tell you about something that's truly amazing, something that I truly do love. Hockey, well, kind of. It is FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you can start off the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. I am obsessed with FanDuel. We all know how much I love my FanDuel, and I always tell you what to bet on. But one thing that I want to warn you guys about is that from here on out, bet on the Kansas City Chiefs plus refs. What? What's that? The Kansas City Chiefs plus refs. Newest NFL team. It's the Kansas City Chiefs plus the refs all in one team. So during a game, if the Chiefs are down or if, Patrick Mahomes threw an interception and you're kind of panicking, do not worry. If you place a bet on the Chiefs plus refs, you will always be guaranteed to win. But in all seriousness, Thursday Night Football this week is going to be really good. It's going to be the 49ers and Seahawks. I'm going to say 49ers, but I'm hoping for a Seahawks upset, and the Seahawks will be at home. So you can always make a bet as the game is going on. Again, that's FanDuel.com/NHL. So I do have a couple audio clips from my boys, Captain Braden Shen and Robert Thomas, part of Robert Thomas season. But before I do that, I want to read to you the lines and pairings. So on the first line centering, we have Robert. I cannot even say it. Robert Thomas. I got too excited. We have Robert Thomas. Then on the left wing, we have Dylan Holloway. And then on the right wing is Jakey Neighbors. I am so proud of Jake Neighbors, by the way, and he deserves this 100%. On the second line centering is Boosh, then Texier on the left wing, and then Jordan Kyrou on the right wing. I said this all along that Kyrou is a top 6 forward, and he goes to show that. Then on the third line, back centering. I did not think this was going to happen, St. Louis. It is Captain Braden Shen. Then on the left wing, you have Matthew Joseph, and then on the right wing, you have Kasperi Kapanen. And then on the fourth line, centering, you have Foxa, then you have Torpochenko, and then on the right, you have Nathan Walker. So that is that. Then let's go talk. I actually did a video with Nathan Walker, Torpo, and Sonny last year when they came to Philadelphia. And it was one of the funniest videos I had. I'm going to be seeing the Blues in a couple weeks when they come to Philadelphia. So I'll be able to get some more interviews with them. And I'm just excited to catch up with the guys again. A fun bunch. All right, let's go talk about some defense. On defense, well, on defense, we have on the right, we have Colton Parayko. Then on the left, Nick Leddy. No surprise. Then on the right, we have Justin Falk. Then on the left, we have Philip Broberg. Then on the right, we have Matthew Kessel. And then on the left, we have Ryan Suter. So in the press box, it will be Perunovic and P.O. Joseph. Injured right now is obviously Brandon Saad, Torrey Krug, and Sundqvist. And when I mean IR, I mean just Saad's not injured. His wife's having a baby. And in net, obviously, is Binner and Hofer. So I do enjoy that. However, even though Saad isn't injured, it still does count against the team, which is why he's in that kind of category. So essentially, this is what I like a lot. I mean, Holloway being in the first line is quite interesting. But I do think, though, that he is going to play well with Robert Thomas. I think that works. That line works a lot. I think we saw that in one of the preseason games. I want to say it was against Dallas. So, anyways, let's go talk about today's game because I am very excited. And does this game set the tone? Well, luckily, I have Captain Braden Shen and Robert Thomas who are going to tell you what exactly that means. Again, these videos are all courtesy of Blues PR. Again, all courtesy of Blues PR. Here's Captain Braden Shen.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a 130 to start my 82 game season, but especially on a Tuesday. So here we are, first time, and I think, like I said, everyone's pumped up to get going. Guys are still trying to find roles and find where they fit in and everything like that. It's going to take some time, but the quicker we figure that out, the quicker everyone buys into the team aspect of the game, and maybe take it a little bit less from an individual standpoint to win hockey games. I think it's going to go a long way in this locker room, and we have a deep team that. I think a lot of people, are kind of writing us off this year. So we have a chance to go out there and try and prove people wrong.
So I really liked what he had to say because he did say, people count us out. People doubt us here. But I don't think that's how it goes. I think the Blues have a lot more talent than people are giving credit for. And I think that Braden Shen has this overall sense of confidence that I didn't really see from him last season as much. But heading into this season, like he did crack a joke about how they're playing at 1:30. It's going to be their time, 1:30, because it's in Seattle, 3:30 our time. And then on the East Coast, 4:30. That's me. Hi. But it's basically a really weird start time. But I think that, he wanted to go on and to really say, hey, this is a team that does have a lot of talent. This is a team that you can't count out. And I think that the national media have kind of counted out the Blues. A lot of people have counted out the Blues unfairly. And it's not just because I do a Blues podcast, right? It's not just because I'm a Blues fan. It is because I love the game of hockey and I follow along not only just with the Blues, but the 31 other teams. And I just can't process how you can count out the St. Louis Blues. That doesn't make sense in my head. But another player that had something to say is my boy, the one, the only. It's Robert Thomas, Robert Thomas season. I am like the biggest Robert Thomas fan. And I don't think words can describe how underrated this player is amongst the rest of the NHL. Like, he deserves more credit. So here is my boy, Robert Thomas, hashtag Robert Thomas season.
Yeah, I mean, we've had, a mindset the last couple of years that, hasn't been exciting, hasn't been fun, but, I think just this summer, the moves, the message that was sent is we're ready to go, we're ready to compete, and we're a good hockey team, and that's what we're excited to go out there and show, and I think it brings a whole nother level of energy to our room.
So I like that too. I mean, he said it brings energy to the room. Now I was cracking up. I didn't put this in here because it just was like a 2-second thing. And I was laughing. Somebody asked Thomas, they said, hey, do you feel like you got what you needed to get done in this preseason games to get you ready for the regular season? And he looks up and he's like, yeah. Stares at the person, smiling. But Robert Thomas, I mean, he said what was said. Like, they're ready. This team is set to go. And I think 7 preseason games is too many. And I've said that before, that it just kind of sucks. But I mean, the initial question is, does this game set the tone? And these two players talked about how important this season is overall. I think it does. I think game 1 sets the tone, okay? It sends a message. You have people, I see it on social media now. Why is Holloway in the first line? Bolduc sucks. This defense looks like trash again. Binner isn't good enough. Everyone doubts the Blues. I see that all the time. And it's not the Blues fans. It's like the national media. It's the average hockey fan, maybe that's not as educated on St. Louis Blues hockey. But there is a lot of doubt with this team. However, one thing that I want to articulate with you is that this team, well, I have some expectations of them. And I'm going to tell you what my expectations are of the St. Louis Blues today. I am. But before I do that, I want to tell you about my friends over at Indeed. If you need a hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, messaging, so you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree. Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. One thing that I love about Indeed is that it is leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day. Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of the show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your job more visibility at Indeed.com/locked-on. Just go to Indeed.com/locked-on right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/locked-on. Terms and conditions apply. You need a hire. You need Indeed. Indeed, you do. I expect a good amount out of the Blues today. Okay. Um, the Seattle Kraken are a really interesting team. Okay. So they didn't qualify for the playoffs last season. They finished sixth in the Pacific Division, going 34, 35, and 15. But the year prior, 2020-23, the Seattle Kraken got eliminated after the second round. So the club, basically, they replaced Dave Haxall, who I know very well here in Philadelphia, which you probably don't really care about in St. Louis, but I just want to put that out there by kind of just hiring other people. That was, I just wanted to put that out there that Dave Haxall sucks. Anyways, his daughter Leah does a great job with the broadcasting. So, anyways, the Kraken, they did add a couple players over the season. They did add Chandler Stevenson of the VGK and defenseman Brandon Montour, who just won the Cup of the Florida Panthers. I'm also a really big Montour fan. Former Blues Cup champions. Okay. Jaden Schwartz and Vince Dunn. Yeah. Yep. They're with the Kraken. Now, okay. I got sad. Sorry, I got complete flashbacks of all the things that Jaden Schwartz did for us in the Cup run, and I actually got sad. Oh, yeah, they're with the Kraken, so yeah. All right. Anyways, big game today. Obviously, Robert Thomas had the most points of the Blues last season with 86 points, with 26 goals and 60 assists in the 82 games last season. Listen, with a repeat performance like that, Thomas will become the first Blues since Brett Hull in 95-96. 96-67 to post 80 or more points in back-to-back seasons. So that is really, really cool. Biddington begins the season with 145 career wins, just shy of the Blues' all-time wins leader, Lewitt. So that'd be kind of cool, right? The Blues also will begin without Oscar Sundqvist, Torrey Kruger, both out with injuries. He will be, Sonny's gonna be ready to play in the near future, and then obviously Torrey Kruger won't be until next season. Brothers Matthew and P.O. Joseph become the seventh pair of brothers to play for the Blues at the same time, which is super cool. This is Ryan Suter's first game with the Blues and will be his 1,445 of his career, moving him to a tie with Tim Horton for 9th all-time amongst NHL defensemen. And then the Blues went 3-0 against the Seattle Kraken last season. The Blues are also 7-2-0 against Seattle in like all time because Seattle's new, and the Blues are also 3-1 at Climate Pledge Arena. So that is I got really sad when talking about Vince and Jaden. Oh my goodness, I'm like happy. I am. It just still hits. It hits hard. but it's all from love. All right, so what do I expect today? Who do I expect to score today? I expect a Dylan Holloway goal, a Robert Thomas assist, and then a Jordan Kyrou goal. So that's what I'm expecting today. Let me know what you are. And like always, let's go Blues.